Now you keep saying you were saved when you were 14. Do you mind if I ask what happened?
Oh, sure. My aunt died of cancer, and she was kind of like one of the favorite aunt people. She's young; she was only 36, and her and another aunt were just the greatest. My other aunt, thankfully, is still alive, but she's in her 80s now. But anyway, um, so she died back in the early 70s, and from that, the pastor that did the funeral. And he was a good man. He'd come around, he'd visit the families and stuff and check up. Well, they got to know him, and my aunts and some uncles and cousins all started going to church. And I didn't think nothing of it. I didn't think nothing about church. I didn't hate it. I didn't. It was neither to me. It just nothing I thought about. Well, after a period of time, I got invited to a potluck, church potluck out at Pamplin Grove out Highway 36. and So we had the potluck, we played ball, and it was fun, and lots of young people, and it was just a good time. Well, they were going to have a baptismal service down at the Van Dusen River. So I went down, and I would say there might have been 10, 15 people, after a ceremony and maybe a little sermon lined up to get baptized. And I was standing off about, 30 feet, I'd say, in amongst another crowd of just people watching. And I had no idea what I was watching. I didn't know what baptism was, didn't know anything about church. And as I was standing there, and I don't even know what the preacher was saying, I'm not kidding, Nick. I just felt this tug, this urging out of nowhere that I needed to be baptized. And so the preacher made a final, is there anybody else? And this is not me. I mean, I'm kind of backwards now. I was so backwards and so shy and it would be ridiculous. I started walking up there and I said, I'd like to be baptized. And he says, are you saved? Didn't know what that meant. I said, I'm not sure what you're talking about. He said, have you ever asked Jesus in your heart? I said, nope. Since I don't know what that means, I haven't. So he said, well, you should do this before you get baptized. And so he said, just repeat these words after me and mean it in your heart. And so I began to, and it's just a simple salvation prayer, nothing fancy or anything like that. And along that prayer, I had my eyes closed, and there, of course, is a degree of light that shines through your eyelids. It's not pitch black. When I did that during that prayer, it got brighter. It got brighter, and I realized again, not know. I didn't get instilled with instant knowledge of what I didn't know, but whatever it was, I knew it was real, and I had no preconceived idea to base it on. I had no spiritual history to, this is what grandma told me about. It wasn't like that at all because none of us were church people. Um, that was real. And from that time, 14 years old, um, the process began. And other than the stupid time I just told you about, it just never has stopped. It just uh, and it just is. It's my fulfillment. It's my purpose. It's this world can't really fulfill me. I'm 59 years old. I mean, how many times you got to keep doing stuff before you've done it enough? I feel that way about Christmas. I love the grandkids having Christmas and this and that, but and my birthday, oh my
Oh,
gosh.
I feel that way about my birthday
Yeah,
now.
yeah. It's like I don't need these anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But with Christ, to me, it's never repetition. It's never a ritual. It's never just going through the motions of things. It's real. Now, I don't always live up to um, my end of the deal, I guess you could say. Um, but I never question God or His reality or His love for people. And that's one of the things that motivates me too, is that I pray for people. You know, That's the thing about Christian activity, I guess you could say. And I've talked to people, not too many, but some, where, um, you know, why do you believe what you believe? And they're a little science based and all that. And like I already said, I embrace it to a certain degree. And I have told one or two, I said, if I'm a crazy old man and I tell you that when I pray, I am praying for this God you don't believe in to save you, to make your life fuller and richer. And I'm never praying anything bad. I'm never, God, strike him down. I'm always praying for better things for you, a better life, a better understanding. What's wrong with that? Well, how does that hurt anybody? And I don't go down on the street corner. Jesus said, you got two types of people. The ones that like to show everybody they're a Christian. They make the loud noise and the screaming and this and that. And Jesus said, when you pray, don't go down on the street corner and make these big orations that everybody hears and they go, oh, he's so spiritual. He said, when you fast, don't walk around with sackcloth and ashes and rub ashes all over you and woe is me and I'm fasting. He said, when you do it, when you pray, go in the closet, shut the door. When you fast, get up in the morning, take a bath, put on some cologne if you want. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he's saying. He says, anoint your head and go about your business like nothing is going on, because it doesn't matter what people know, because you're trying to get God's attention. You're trying, and so and that's one thing I love about being a Christian is I can pray for people. I hear things. I don't need no details. Someone's having a bad day. Someone's family's in trouble. I don't know, okay, well, what do you mean by that? That is not important. I know there's trouble. And so I pray, and no one ever knows it. And well, up until now, no one will ever know it, because that is kind of who I am. I'll tell you the truth. I even thought, I call Nick and maybe tell him. I thought, well, first of all, he'd be lying, because there's nothing wrong with you. Because, like I said, this isn't me. And maybe he'll go, we'll not run this one. So if you do that, I'm fine.
Well, I'm really glad that you decided to come and do it, because I think this is a really powerful side of Christianity that doesn't get talked about a lot. You see the people standing outside Planned Parenthood and belittling people that are going inside, or you see the people that try to put others down because their faith isn't the same, right, or they believe something else, or their sexual preference, or whatever it is. You see that side. That side gets blown out of proportion.
Oh, absolutely.
You see it everywhere.
Yeah.
But you don't get this perspective a whole lot. This one kind of lies a little, the less flashy, the less showy.
Well, that's me.
Yeah, I think that's important.
I'm a boring person.
No, I don't. I don't think so. I think that this is something that, more people. I think it's good that more people will hear that.
Well, another thing, there are many in America and around the world that's how they live their faith. Paul said in Ephesians, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against, I forget the order, principalities, rulers of darkness in high places, those kinds of things. This is a spiritual battle. So knowing that, you ever walk up to someone and say hi to them and they bite your head off?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too. And for a long time I thought, what in the world did I do? Well, then I came to realize it wasn't about me at all. Something else is going on. Something else is bugging them. I couldn't have brought that response with anything I did. And so it helps me, makes me realize, and there are people with facing a lot of challenges in their life that they have no refuge from. They're lost. They're really lost. They have, and I'm not. It's not that I'm that wise or that smart, but I understand, even though I've maybe never been where you are, I understand where you are. And the Bible, the ministry, and we've been studying the ministry in our Bible study, is ministering to people. The essence of ministry is to help people. Now, maybe I can help someone with a $20 bill, although I really don't do that anymore. I kind of learned my lesson, but I'll buy them a meal. I'll give to an organization that is better equipped to feed and clothe people, and those kinds of things, which are important. But um, my enemy is not humanity. My enemy is not even the person that doesn't like what I believe and tries to pigeonhole me or categorize me. Um, the Bible says pray for your enemies. Pray for those that are bad to you. That's powerful. That I don't return hate with hate, but I return evil with good. And it's perfect. God's version of Christianity is perfect. It is beyond reproach. Now, what I do to it is not perfect. But His word, His love, His patience, His long suffering is perfect. He is perfect. And again, then you say, well, if He's so perfect, how come all these things happen to people? Well, that's because of sin, like we talked about. That, and here's another thing people are trying to get away from: there are consequences, and I believe in consequences. Um, there will be consequences for people's actions. Yeah, it may be legal in one respect, but you don't know who you're affecting, whose life you're affecting, whatever the thing that's lawful now. That that's the thing about man. You can go all the way back to prohibition. You can't beat it, so make it legal. We see that with the pot thing now. You can't. It's never going to go away. It never will. So let's legalize it and make some money off it. And that's what's happened. That was prohibition. They couldn't flush out all the stuff in the South and all that, and the moonshine, this and that. And so, when they tried prohibition, it didn't work because people figured out how to go around it. And so, you know what, let's legalize it and make an industry out of it and a tax base. So they did. And but with God, it's never, I didn't see that one coming, or I guess I can't deal with that. His righteousness stands, and I will be judged. I'm not exempt from anything because I'm a card-carrying ordained bishop with the Church of God. I'm not exempt because I preach thousands of sermons or any of that church stuff. I'm still going to answer because God is righteous. I'm still going to be held accountable. So people will skate through, but there will come a day, when I'm going to answer, and hopefully there's some good to counteract the idiocy that has been a lot of my life.